Guys, how you doing? My name's Tommy, and this is the Gallery Backyard Barbecue. So look, on today's show, we're going to keep it inside today. This is part of my Patreon's cooking course. I'll have information down below if you want to check that out, including my other Patreon tiers. It's one way of a few ways to support the show, and I do appreciate all of them. Look, on today's show, I got a 3-bone, 7-pound prime rib. This comes courtesy of crowdcow.com. Yeah, I did pay for it, but I do have $25 off coupons if you want to check this out or any of their other meat selections. So I'm looking forward to that. So basically what I'm going to focus in on, like I said, we got a 7-pound, 3-bone prime rib. We're going to go 500 degrees for about 15 minutes. At that point, we'll lower it to 325 and we'll take it right up to about 120 Fahrenheit. I'm looking for rare to medium rare, but what I really want to focus in on is that Au Jus. I got a nice recipe. It's basic recipe, but it's a foolproof recipe, and we're going to show you that step by step. I also have some nice new potatoes. I'm going to do a classic rosemary new potato. And also I got some baby carrots and asparagus. So this is going to be a fun cook. So basically what I've done so far, as you'll see, I have cut the bones back. I've trimmed it up. I have salted the meat. Just a light dusting. We're going to bring this up room temperature for about 3 hours. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So look, the first thing we want to do here is we want to semi-remove the bones, right? So we can get some seasoning in there. Now look, I know some people remove the bones completely and tie them, but to me that just makes it harder to, it just makes it harder to tie. So look, as you're bringing your knife down, just keep it pointed onto the bones. You don't want to take off too much meat, so you just kind of angle your knife, and you'll take this right to about a 1/2 inch to the end. Yeah, just like that. There you go. That's pretty easy. And look, I got a little hard fat right there that I am going to just trim off. No big deal. You could probably have left it there, but I'm going to remove it. That looks pretty good right there. So look, what I'm going to do as we bring this puppy up to room temperature, I'm thinking it's going to be about a 2-3 hour sit. And I'm just going to hit it with some salt. Now look, some people do that dry brine overnight salt. But my wife has been on me about over salting too much, so I'm just going to do a light dusting of salt, and we'll bring this meat up to room temperature. I'm real excited about this prime rib. Has a nice color to it. Alrighty, and here we go. Oh yeah. So look, the prime rib has been sitting for approximately 2 hours, and you could see it has drawn a little moisture out of the meat. But more importantly than that is we want this prime rib up to room temperature before we put it in the oven. And again, we are going to go 500 Fahrenheit on the oven. And look, if you have a convention oven where that fan in the middle there blows, definitely use the convention part. That is going to create heat all around the meat instead of just coming up from the bottom. Alrighty, look, from here what we want to do, we'll take it off this board, we'll get it on the other board. I want to do a little bit more seasoning on it, and then I want to get it tied up and get it ready to go on in the stove. So let's So basically what I'm going to do is three seasonings. Remember, I want to keep this more to the classic. salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic. This is a granulated garlic. So now we know we've hit it with salt to let it sit for 2 hours, and you can do that overnight, right? That would be a dry brine. So we're just going to hit it with a little bit more salt. My wife complains that I always over salt, so I don't want to do too much salt. Give it that nice salty crust. Oh yeah. Important, you do want to remember to get in there. The meat has a has a great odor, again, especially when it sits for 2 hours and comes up to room temperature. Pop open that granulated garlic and this pepper over here. If you have fresh cracked black pepper, please feel free. Just a little dusting. Oh yeah. Now remember, when you put it in your roasting pan, you want to go bone sides down. But before we do that, we just want to give this a quick tie, keep everything together. All right, so look, there's basically 2 rules of thought on this tying of this. You can go the long way. You can do 1 or 2 rows. This is only a 3 bone, so maybe 1 is fine, or 2 on the end. I don't even like to get that carried away. I'm just going to come right across here just to keep these bones in tight right there. That's all I'm worried about. You know, nothing fancy here. If you want to bring it in on the back side, you can bring it in on the back side. You know, there's all kinds of knots. I just usually go like that. As long as it's tight, you're all good. All right, and again, remember, bone side down in your roasting pan. We've got the oven coming up to temp. I've got the prime rib all ready to go. We're going to take a quick break, and then I will get the vegetables. I got a couple vegetables and potatoes to prepare, so we'll see you soon. Alrighty, look everyone, we are just about up to temp on the oven. You saw in the beginning that I calibrated my Weber iGrill 2, and we were minus about 2 degrees. Always very important. When you're cooking an expensive piece of meat like this, you got to make sure whatever you're using to monitor the cook, you got to make sure it's on the money, or you need to know where it is. Because if this is off 10, 15 degrees and you're bringing this up to 120, you're going to be way off on the cook. So that's very important. Boiling water should be around 212, depending on your altitude, I believe. We're 2 degrees off that, and that's good enough for me. So what you want to do here is you want to go the thickest part, of course. Perfect. Oh man, I got the oven all ready to go. So let's get this on the oven. Okay, so look, basically what we're gonna do at about 500 Fahrenheit on the oven, we're gonna let that go for 15 minutes, and then we're gonna lower that temp to 325, and then we'll take it right up to 120 Fahrenheit on the meat. Yeah. So basically here I got some tri-colored carrots. I'll get those in some boiling water and we'll blanch these off for about 3-4 minutes and then I'll saute them up. Oh yeah. I also have some thin asparagus, a quick saute on these with some butter, salt, and pepper. On the tri-colored carrots I'll add a little honey. Alrighty, and look, from there we're going to go with the classic red potato or new potato. These are rosemaried up with a little butter, salt, pepper, and I'll finish them off with some grated cheese. Oh yeah. Look, that is it, 2 hours, and we just hit 120 Fahrenheit on the prime rib. We're gonna get it off, we're gonna get it on the board. We'll lightly tin foil wrap it, and then we'll tend to our au jus. Oh, I can hear it crunching as I tilt it. Oh man. Wow, that looks good. We got juice already coming, man. This is cooked perfect. We took the prime rib up to 120 Fahrenheit. We do have it wrapped now on the board. And now I'm gonna go over to the au jus. We're gonna make ourselves the perfect au jus to go with this perfect prime rib. And then we're gonna slice this bad boy open and see where we are. Oh yeah. So I've decided I'm gonna run this part of the the making of the au jus with no edit. Okay, so start to finish, we're looking at a 10-minute process, and the first step is to retain about 3 tablespoons of the oil from the prime rib. And you'll obviously get that pan there over some heat, and you'll bring it up to a slight simmer, and then you'll add a 1/2 cup of red wine. And of course you'll give that bottom a good scrape and incorporate everything together. I had a little spill when I put the red wine in, so I topped it off to complete the 1/2 cup. And as you see, we have a low simmer on there. We'll just continue to incorporate it together, cook it down. I'll tell you, I had this for dinner for leftovers the next night, and even my wife said that I totally nailed this recipe. So if you follow along exactly what I'm doing, you will nail it also. So look, at that point, what we'll do is we'll incorporate our 1.5 cups of beef stock in. Again, I am using that Better Than bouillon, so get yourself a good stock, and you definitely want to use that for this recipe. In other words, stay away from the cubes. And see where we are. Oh yeah. And I'll get that back up to a low simmer. And again, we are just running this full time with no edit. And of course, as the process moves along, you definitely want to taste and add salt. Don't over salt, because once you add too much salt, you can't take it out, right? So taste, add, taste, add, taste, add. And as you see, we are coming up to that low simmer now. I'm going to add a couple splashes of Worcestershire sauce. And that was a little pepper. And just let the fire hit the pan, hit the sauce, and let the sauce do its thing. And like I said before, taste and add, taste and add. And you got a lot of flavors working in that pot right there. You know, those flavors, the more it simmers, you're not cooking it in half like you would normally. You're not looking to really thicken it up. You're just looking to gel all those flavors. You want to bring them all out, and this is how you're going to do it. So basically what you want to do here is lower out that flame, bring that simmer down, and add a 1/4 stick of butter. And this is going to give that au jus sauce that silky texture. It's going to put a nice flavor. A little fat added to the sauce is a good thing. And just incorporate that down and bring it back up to a low simmer. Oh, yeah. Now look, the butter's going to add a little salt also, so keep that in mind. And that was just a little leftover beef stock that I had. I'll just get that in there. And just keep whisking it and keep incorporating it together. And again, very, very low on the simmer at this point. Oh, and the flavor is there. And you know it's getting serious right there when you break out the spoon for the taste. And that is money. Oh, yeah. And so look, basically what I'm going to do here is transfer that into my little holder there. We'll put that on this side. You follow this recipe and you will be pleasantly surprised. All right, man, that is it. Look, the au jus came out perfect. I'll break that down step by step down in the description. Follow along with that, and you will make the perfect au jus. Now, the moment of truth. Oh, yeah. And you know where these are going, and it ain't Molly. Well, maybe Molly will get a little bit. I mean, I could tell already that this is right on the money for sure. Oh, man. This is nice and cut. she's cutting like butter. Oh yeah. I mean, look at that juice. She's pouring like a she's moving like a brisket. Oh yeah. Little bone right there. Oh man. Look at the juices. Wow. I mean, this is the juiciest, by far, this is the juiciest prime rib that I've ever cooked. Oh, are you kidding? Wow. The real question is this, put a little this au jus sauce right on there. Oh man. Cheers. Wow. It's got the perfect salty crust. Definitely can taste it, but yet it's not over salted, so the wife's going to be pleased with that. I mean, the juice is unreal. The au jus is perfect. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, this is crazy. All right, guys, look, that is it for this one. Everything will be detailed down in the description to Libya and Joe. Cheers to the both of yous. And thanks for allowing me to cook for you tonight. Like I said, man, everything down below. One of the best prime ribs I've ever made. I mean, I hope that juice came across. And that is it for this one. I'm going to drop a couple other videos here. All my Patreons run over there. And until next time, we will see you soon.